Back in 2014, or 2013 should I say, in County Limerick there was an amalgamation of two district divisions, the division of Newcastle West and Skeeton, and obviously it created one bigger division that includes Pallaskenry, Foynes, Abbeyfeale, Atay, Glynn, Rathkeale, Croom, Ballingarry, Adair, Newcastle West itself and Drumculliher. So this is obviously part of the new regional divisions. In 2014 there was a preliminary design sign-off in relation to the refurbishment of Newcastle West Garda Station, and very much welcomed in 2015 that it was to be part of the Capital Plan 2016 to 2021. The station requires refurbishment. It has been built in a time where it was built in a time where there was less people using it because of now the amalgamation. There's more using it. It also requires refurbishment in relation to modern policing and also customer service as well for people that will be coming in to use the station, particularly around privacy and dignity in articulating themselves in that. I've put down a number of parliamentary questions in relation to this issue in trying to get some sort of a start date or some sort of a mechanism or estimate as to when the refurbishment will be completed. Now, I had an answer back in May. I had some parliamentary questions down in May in that a design team was they were in the process of currently appointing a design team in order to further advance the project. I took that in good faith. I was then told that the construction work would take 18 months. And then in a written parliamentary question reply in July, I was told the OPW architectural and quantity surveying services have been assigned to advance the procurement and appointment of other design team members and to progress the full design of this project. Following the necessary planning and tender procurement processes, it is envisaged that the construction works will take approximately 18 months. What I'm looking for and what I asked for in that parliamentary question is actually timelines and a breakdown in, number one, the appointment of the designers to this, number two, the tendering process, number three, the completion of this whole process till we move to the actual construction phase, when the envisaged construction phase will start, and obviously we're taking an approximation that that's going to be 18 months when the refurb will take place. I've nothing but the highest of respect and regard for the Gardaí in County Limerick and how they conduct their duties and how they go about it. I've interacted with a lot of them personally over the years in relation to that. They've had to work in challenging times. I welcome the fact that the last government opened Templemore in 2014 and we're now starting to see Gardaí come back on stream from the recruitment process. But the actual facility of Newcastle West needs the upgrading as soon as possible, given the divisional changes that have taken place, given the restrictions that are in it already in relation to the public that are using it, but also as well in relation to the staff that are using it as well. And I think it's imperative that we get these timelines. I understand that the Minister will be maybe constrained on a specific start date, but if we're given some sort of scheme of work or given a timeline in relation to the design process, when will the designers be appointed? How long will the design process take place? How long will the tendering process take place? Can both happen concurrently? And from that, can we deduce a start date? Thank you.
Minister, 4 minutes.
Thank you. I wish to thank Deputy Neville for raising this important matter. Indeed, it's not the first time he has raised the matter here in the House of the Oireachtas. Deputy Neville will be aware the programme of replacement and refurbishment of Garda accommodation is progressed by the Garda authorities, working in close cooperation with the Office of Public Works. While as Minister, I don't have any direct role in these matters. I wish to acknowledge the importance of this issue for Deputy Neville in the Limerick area, and say that the programme for partnership government recognises that An Garda Síochána must at all times have an appropriate level of modern technology and other resources, including fit-for-purpose buildings, necessary to do their job. And I note in this regard the Capital Plan 16 to 21 secured resources in this regard. Deputy Neville will be aware of the significant efforts being made by the Government to enhance the working environment generally for members of An Garda Síochána and of the major investment that has been committed under the Capital Plan 16 to 21 to upgrade Garda premises, the Garda fleet and Garda ICT infrastructure. This is evidenced by Garda Station Building and Refurbishment Programme of 1621, which is an ambitious 5-year programme. Will benefit over 30 locations around the country, includes over €60 million of exchequer funding as part of the capital plan, as well as major public-private partnership project. This programme includes the major works in respect of the replacement of the Garda Station at Newcastle West. I am advised by the OPW that it has completed a feasibility study on the existing Garda Station site with regard to the brief of requirements for District Headquarters Station. OPW Architectural Services are currently reviewing that study from a health and safety, building efficiency and compliance perspective prior to the preparation of tender documents for the procurement of external civil and structural, mechanical and electrical consultants. I note what the Deputy has said regarding timelines. I note that Deputy Neville wishes to have certainty on the matter of this proposed building. And I understand that it is currently envisaged that the tenders for both of these services, from an engineering point of view, will issue between now and the end of the year. That's in a few weeks' time, over the next few weeks. I'm further advised at this early stage of the project that until the full design team is in place, it's difficult to estimate the precise timeline for the actual completion of the works. However, can I say to the Deputy that it is hoped by all involved that the necessary planning and procurement processes will take place by the end of next year. Following these, it is envisaged that the construction will take approximately 18 months. With regard to the existing accommodation at Newcastle West, pending the refurbishment, I understand that some remedial works continue to be progressed between An Garda Síochána in conjunction with the OPW as the need arises. I want to reassure the House that the Government is fully committed to proceeding with its major investment programme. Aims to provide new stations, modernise older stations at key locations around the country, ensuring a safe, modern working environment for the Gardaí, as well as fit-for-purpose facilities for visitors, for victims and for suspects, and of course for the people in the area of Newcastle West and surrounding areas of County Limerick.
Your Margaret, Deputy, 2 minutes supplementary.
Yeah, thank you, Cathaoirleach, and thank you to the Minister, and I welcome your statement today. Minister, you have given some meat to the bone in relation to timelines and when we would envisage that the completion of this refurbishment would take place. Obviously, I would ask, Minister, that there would be a close eye kept on this, that we could try and push this through as quickly as possible, given the timelines there in relation to next year, and if we can bring it forward or prioritise in any bit at all, even a number of months will help in relation to this, because it has been announced since 2014 this has been moving. But look, I do recognise the Minister's input here and thank him for his reply and obviously his priority in relation to this. And again, as I say, in relation to Gardaí in general, I suppose in County Limerick, that I personally welcome the recruitment that has taken place. And recognise that Templemore was opened by the last government. Obviously, we want to see that recruitment continue and the force be beefed up to the targets that are outlined in the programme of government. But I also have to put in my own spake as well for County Limerick in relation to the number of Gardaí, that not to forget us in the rural areas, particularly given the challenges that rural areas have had to face over the past number of years, that we would be recognised. The county would be obviously complemented by the city region as well, and we are obviously trying to get the resources there, but that the rural side would be also thought of as well. Again, I want to put on the record of the House that I have nothing but the utmost respect for the force in County Limerick and how they conduct their duties. I know there has been a retirement of a superintendent in Newcastle West. I want to wish him well, and obviously hope that the replacement will be brought in as soon as possible. But I thank the Minister for replying to my answer, and thank you.
I want once again to reassure the Deputy, and the Deputy has asked that I keep a close eye on matters. Wish to assure the Deputy that I would be very keen that this project would be completed, but I don't believe there is any necessity for me to keep a close eye on matters having regard to the close eye that the Deputy Neville himself keeps on this and other important issues in the West Limerick constituency. And I want to agree with Deputy Neville on the matter of Garda recruitment. Can I say that I am committed to ensuring a strong and visible Garda presence throughout the country in order to maintain and strengthen community engagement, to provide reassurance to citizens, and of course to to deter crime. And a substantial increase in Garda numbers is tangible progress on achieving the overall vision of this government to have an overall Garda service of 21,000 personnel by 2021, which will comprise 15,000 Gardaí, 2,000 members of the Garda Reserve and 4,000 civilians. And I'm pleased to say that last week's budget will support the continuation of this high level of investment in the Garda workforce.